Welcome to a new series of videos where I'll be teaching you how to code in Python. If you followed along with the previous video, you've already got Python installed and you're probably ready to get going. Before we begin, let's talk about what a program is. A program is just a set of instructions. Go to the grocery store is an instruction. If I said, go to the grocery store, if they have bananas, buy 6. If they don't have bananas, buy grapes. That is a set of instructions. We could go on and on, but these instructions are meant to accomplish a task. There are hundreds of different programming languages. Some of them are compiled, and some are interpreted. Computers don't understand plain spoken instructions such as go to the grocery store. They only understand ones and zeros, what we call machine language. So we write our instructions in a high-level programming language such as Python, then have the computer translate that into machine code. Compilers are programs that translate high-level code into machine language. This is done once, and then the program can be run at any time. Examples of compiled languages are C, Java, Swift, and Go. Python is not a compiled language. Python is an interpreted language. Interpreters translate and execute at the time the program is run. It does this each time the program is run. This means longer programs can be slower to execute, but we can run our program after many small changes without taking time to recompile the code each time. In addition, as computers have gotten faster, this trade-off has become less important. We'll begin using Python with idle, which is Python's built-in IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. There are many IDEs you can write Python in. Because idle comes with the Python installer and is simple to use, we're going to be using it. Technically, you can write Python code in any text editor, but IDEs provide us with extra things like syntax highlighting, which are very helpful. Find the shortcut for idle created by the installer and open it. Idle has two parts, the shell and the editor. When you open idle here, we know we are in the shell because it prints out this nice little header that tells us what version we're using. This one says 3.8.0. The shell allows us to interactively enter commands and get results. Type in the following: print, an open parentheses, double quotation marks, hello world, exclamation, close quotations, close parentheses, and press enter. The shell outputs hello world. You've just used the print function in Python, and as you may have guessed, this prints the text to the screen. Let's try another. Do print, open parentheses, double quotations, today is Wednesday, close quotations, and close parentheses, and press enter. Feel free to pause the video and play with this a bit. We can also access the shell in command. Click on your Windows Start icon and type in CMD and open it. This may be alien to some users who are only used to graphical interfaces in Windows, but command allows you to type in many commands to interact with the operating system. We can enter the shell here as well. Because we told the installer in the first video to add Python to our path, we can run Python just by typing in Python here and pressing enter. This should look familiar, just like our idle shell. You can use the print function here too. We'll leave the command window open and come back to it in a bit. The shell is great for immediate feedback, and I often use it to test out a few lines of code. But nothing you enter here is safe for use again later. For that, we want to use the editor. Click on File, New File, and an editor window will open a new empty file. On the top line, enter another print statement. You can then select Run Module. But you can also just press the F5 key at the top of your keyboard. Since we haven't saved this file yet, it will prompt you to save the file before running it. Name the file helloworld.py. If you're comfortable locating file paths on Windows, you can save this file anywhere. If you aren't, I encourage you to save it in your Documents directory so you can easily follow along, or else different users may have different file paths. After you save the file, it will immediately execute in the idle shell. But since we saved this file in the editor, we can continue making changes to the file. Add a couple of more print lines, then press F5 to save and run the file again. Now we see multiple lines of output all at once in our idle shell. We can also run our file from command. At the prompt, type Python C \users \your username \documents \helloworld.py. This is the full file path to your file. When the file runs in command, it no longer opens the shell. It runs your program right in the command window and displays any output. That wraps up this episode of Getting Started with Python. I encourage you to play around with the things you've learned from this episode to make sure you understand how to use the shell in the editor. See you next time.